so I have my plate here. I have my culture tube. I have my Bunsen burner. I have my inoculating loop. I have a lighter to light the Bunsen burner. I have a Sharpie here. So I'm gonna finish labeling my quadrants. I would do this on the bottom. Okay, so I'm gonna I'm gonna turn on the Bunsen burner. Then I'm gonna flame my inoculating loop and sterilize that. Then I'm gonna take my culture tube. I'm gonna open it with my pinky. I'm gonna flame that. Then I'm gonna dip my inoculating loop in there. Then I'm gonna flame that again. I'm gonna close that off. Then I'm gonna take my my plate, and then I'm going to strike that. Then I'm going to flame this. I'm making sure to cool it. I'm gonna tap it on the edge here. Now I'm gonna streak this 2 times, carrying over some of the bacteria from quadrant 1 into quadrant 2. Then I'm gonna streak that. Then I'm gonna flame this again, and I'm turning my plate counterclockwise. Then once again, to cool it, I'm gonna tap this on the edge, and once again I'm gonna streak it 2 times. Then I'm gonna streak it again all over. Then continue to turn that clockwise. I'm gonna flame this and sterilize it. And I'm gonna tap it on the edge again. Then again, I'm going to streak it 2 times, carrying over the bacteria. Then I'm gonna streak that all over. Then I'm gonna flame my inoculating loop. And then I'm just gonna set down my plate. I'm gonna turn off the Bunsen burner. And I'm gonna show you this up close. And now I'm done.